what we're doing is building a WRX rally car for my friend Mike that races rallycross, and I'm going to take you guys along for the journey in the process of building this car, and then also to the track to see how he competes in it. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this video. We're going to be doing a STI 6-speed swap and a fully built motor with big turbo ejectors, upgraded fuel system. I went up to my friend Mike's car, the WRX, and we ended up putting the transmission in. We got the rear diff in, we got the diff bushings in, and I don't think I ended up recording any of it. I was just trying to like get things done, and honestly, I wasn't in the mindset or the mood to pick up the camera. I've been kind of just lacking lately, just been down. So the intake is totally on, it's mounted, the harness is on. We sorted all the vacuum lines, and I ended up doing a evap delete, so I deleted all of that evap systems, all the lines for that. And then I went up to Mike's house, obviously, to put the transmission in, and we grabbed some of the extra parts that we were missing for the engine. So right now what I'm working on is routing PVC hoses to the turbo inlet, because the turbo inlet goes right here. So we had these two lines that I had to go figure out, and then this little one, which didn't need to be figured out, but I just needed to figure out these two really. I plugged all the vacuum ports already. I just got some hose clamps. They're chilling right there. I'm gonna put those hose clamps on those, and there's another fitting over there. But what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to pull the turbo back off. It's not really bolted down, but if you can see in there, which I know it's really hard to see, but you can't get the inlet around the whole turbo because of the intake and the TGV housing right here. So I gotta go in there with a file, and I'm gonna file this little corner down and see if I can't make it a little bit easier to get the boot on there, because it ain't working. But everything else is going good. We still got to order a radiator, which Mike is gonna handle. We need an oil catch can. Mike is handling the secondary air injection block off plates. Mike is literally making them himself because he's a machinist and he's the man. So we got those parts coming, and once those arrive, I think that should be everything that we need. Today is the day. So we're here in the garage. We got the engine done the other night. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys, but we are about to put the engine in the back of the truck, and we're taking off to Mike's so we can try to get this thing put in the car today. I don't know if we'll see it run, but I at least want this thing bolted into the transmission and everything bolted down. That way we can just hopefully have to put coolant in it and prime it for the first time. But right now, all we have left to do on the motor are these two back plugs, and we got 4 hose clamps that need to go on the engine somewhere. And Mike has the plugs for the secondary air injection ports. So we're gonna put those on once we get there, and then we're gonna stop for hose clamps probably in Big Rapids. We'll probably stop by AutoZone or something later. But other than that, I just gotta go ahead and grab all of my tools from around this entire garage. I know it's a bit of a mess, but I mean, it kind of gets crazy in here when I'm working on stuff and I don't put tools back. So I brought a heater, some coolant. That's just business stuff. We got the jack, the engine stand. I don't know if we're gonna need the engine stand. I just brought it just because. We got the engine strapped in there. Actually wasn't as hard to load as I was thinking it was gonna be, but it was kind of sketchy. But we got it in there, didn't break anything. So we're about to drive hour and 15 minutes over to Mike's house in the winter. We just had the plow truck come through here. So yeah, let's get it going. Okay guys, so we are at Mike's now. We got the engine on the back of the truck right here, and the car's in the carport. Mike just left to go grab some propane so we can have some heat in this little carport right here. At some point these axles are gonna have to go inside of the car, so we're gonna put those axles in, get the ball joint bolts back on both sides. What else do we got to get over here? Oh yeah, the fuel rails. So we got new fuel rails, and we're gonna have to go and disconnect the fuel rails from right over there.
Catch. You got more pizza? So what are we doing here, doctor?
We're pulling off this engine mount.
Is this thing even going?
What? Yeah. If you tap on the string over here, see.
Pulling the back of the engine stand off, get the plugs in, seal the
So now we're gonna get these plugs.
back of it up, and the block off plates
Yeah.
for the secondary air pump.
We got motor mounts on the engine, both sides. We got the flywheel and the clutch mounted on the back. We got both of the plugs in the back there. I know you guys can't see because I already put them on there, but those are on there. This is on. We still need to swap the plug for the fourth cylinder 4 cooling mod, but Mike got these nice plates that he made on there pretty good. So yeah, things are looking quite spicy. Here's this other one that he made. We got all the hose clamps on. There's 2 that go in here, another one on that side. We don't have the banjo bolt for the oil for the turbo, but it's kind of looking like a mess over here, that's for sure. And then in here, it's actually quite warm in here. I would say it's at least 60, but
There ain't no way it's 60.
engine bay, transmission sitting in there. STI transmission is looking pretty good. Mike's working on getting the clutch slave cylinder the clutch master cylinder put in there. He has it bolted on down there. Lines are ran. Brake booster and the pedals, he's working on those right now. I'm just working on getting these fuel lines off of the car so that we can go ahead and put our aftermarket fuel lines on. Get these things put on. We got our aftermarket fuel pressure regulator in there, so that has to be mounted, I think, right here. We're gonna take this bracket off with all this random stuff, and then I think it gets mounted right there. So that's what I'm working on right now. Front axles are put in the front of the car. We got the ball joints are hooked up, so that's good. This thing's about ready to be dropped in the engine. We need to put on the lower alignment bolts. Those go into the bottom of the transmission, so those are gonna have to go on there, and then we still got the fuel pump to put in there. But we're getting it done. We're getting it done. This thing's pretty bright. About 8 o'clock. We just got the cylinder 4 cooling mod put on, and then I ended up not getting the fuel lines on. They were too much of a hassle. But we forgot that you got to put a new starter on for the STI transmission. And we got everything else hooked up, and right now we're about to jack the transmission up and then get the engine put in. And as soon as I get these little pieces put in, I don't know where they went, but they're somewhere over here. But get those alignment pins in, and then this thing's about to go in here. So there we go.
You're on the hood.
Just go down.
Ready to go down?
Hold on.
We're clear of that.
Hold on,
I'm trying to
hold
get
on.
clear of the sensor.
What is this connected to?
Alright, we're clear, so it can come this way now. Alright, I think you're too low.
Is the pin in there? Nope. Has to go down a tad bit on Mike's side.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. Okay, that's good. this thing on. Is it going on now? Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting closer.
How do you position it? What do you want? Sick. Is that what you need?
Took a little bit, but we got it in. It's not really seated up all the way quite yet. We're about to get some bolts in there, and I'm gonna let you guys know once we get this thing all the way kind of put in there. So yeah, Mike, what do we do?
We made it.
We made it.
We
got
made it the engine and transmission, and then we put some bolts in the back of it, and then we lowered it down on the engine mounts.
Yep. Engine is finally in the car on its own subframe. No jack, no nothing. I don't know where we were last time, but it's a mess in here. Straight mess. Engine's in though. It's hooked up. We're like 90% of the way done. We need, oh snap, we need the downpipe, and we gotta fix the sensor that's like right here, and then we can get this the brackets for this put on, and then we get the intercooler on. The intake needs to go on still. Put some coolant. I think we're missing some hoses that go from here to here. The fuel line connector came in the mail, so we got to put that on. I believe Mike said he put the seat in. So seats in, shifters in. Basically, we're almost done. So we're gonna go ahead and try to button up these last couple things and see if we can get this thing started today. I brought the laptop. We're gonna throw a bass tune on there, and hopefully it'll be good enough to let this thing idle at least. So we'll see where we're at. Heater malfunction, unfortunately, burned the side of the tent, so I turned that side off. And right now my dad's working on getting the fuel regulator hooked up with the AN lines, and I'm just down here fiddling with the sensor. I just got it connected. You had to break this little top tab on this connector to slide it in there. I don't know if it's actually in there all the way, but I'm going to test it out once we get the power to the car and see if it's working. If it's working, I'm going to leave it alone. If not, I'm going to have to take this out and go inside of this sensor and actually break off a little plastic piece that's in there so it can get pressed in a little bit further. But I think it should be fine how it is right now. I just took off this S pipe because we're going to take this bracket off so that I can put this bracket on, and that will mount the intercooler, this nice big thick boy Grim Speed intercooler. Yeah, so, and then Mike has to figure out how to get this connected somehow. I don't know. Yeah. Basically, all we got left is to put this dipstick tube in, get all this junk off the dang car, and then we gotta get this intercooler on. So right now, I'm about to put this intercooler on so that way when he gets back with the battery, we can throw some coolant in here, throw some oil in here, the dipstick in, and then throw the tune on here and try to get this thing fired up for the first time. So oh, there we go. Tuning cable. Put that in a pocket for right now. Boom. Tuning machine. Got this thing. Got all my cool stickers on it. Okay. I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna look for that tune that I made for Mike. Yeah, this is the right one. Alright, so this one can get out of here. We can close this one. Oh shoot. Close the freaking whole software. Oops. But got this loaded up. Right now we're running a max of like 7 psi, so I'm not going too crazy with anything. 7 psi max. We just want this thing to break in. This is just a base map just to get them up and running. I didn't touch the wastegate duty cycles or anything. I didn't really touch the fuel map. Rescaled the injectors. Oh, who's calling me? Okay, so scaled the injectors for the vehicle. So we got 1300 cc injectors. Got those put in here. And we should be good enough to get this thing up and running. Okay, so we got keys. We got battery power. Now I think I just gotta get over there and connect a wire. What the heck is this? Taco Bell? Don't need that. Not right now, at least. Okay. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. So I think we're reading the map that's on there. I don't know what's on there, but I know I have it. I just don't know which one it is. So hopefully it'll show us once we get this one off. Okay. So what are we at? 16 psi. I don't even know which one this is, but we got it right now. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna turn this off, take the key out, then we're gonna put the key back in there, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna write this one. Yep, here we go. Awesome. So that means the new tune is finally on the car, and all we gotta do is go get up that oil from Mike, come back, put the oil in, start this thing up, and prime the oil, and then we can prime the fuel pump, see how she runs. So let's go ahead and go do that. Okay, so we got the oil in, coolant's in, everything's hooked up. I'm about to go ahead and prime the oil right now, and maybe we'll start it, maybe we won't. I don't know. I kind of told Mike we weren't really gonna start it. Just I was gonna grab the rest of my stuff and just head home, and then we could start it when we get the downpipe, because it doesn't have no downpipe on it yet. That's like the last piece of the puzzle. So yeah, but let's go ahead and see if this thing rolls over at least. I want you to look for any fuel leaks. Tell me if you can hear the fuel pump prime, because I don't even know.
You gonna try to start it or just turn the key?
I'm just gonna try to prime it. Anything?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it is blown. Interesting.
Oh, it blew. It blew. Yep.
For this video, thanks for watching. If you guys could, go ahead and hit that like button for me. It does really help out a lot. And then go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. Tell me how bad I did on fixing the car, or how bad my hair looked, or what you guys might want to see in the next couple videos. But other than that, that is the end. And in the next video coming up, we're hoping that we can get the car put together enough to get it started for the first time. So stay tuned.